Well, I am so excited to be here today with Kara O'Day and Karen O'Sullivan, who are the visionaries of the new newsletter, Oh So Good Living, as well as have an active social media presence on Instagram. And so we thought we would spend a little bit of time today getting to know them and kind of learning more about this newsletter that I know both myself and Jane O'Malley, we've really been enjoying reading. So with that, I'd love to hear a little bit about your backgrounds, both of you.
Okay, well, I grew up in New Jersey. I studied economics in college, and I was in the financial world after I graduated, but very much was always interested in all things pop culture, fashion, beauty, that kind of thing. So I moved out here after getting married, raised my kids, and then part-time worked for a bunch of very strong, small business, women-owned companies. I worked for a landscape architect, and then I worked in a dermatology office for 5 years, which really just expanded my love of all things skincare. When given the opportunity to work with Karen at her shop in Wilmette, I took it, and we just kind of expanded the social media, got to know each other, and it's kind of where our relationship took off.
I love it. I love it. And Karen?
So I sort of always knew what I wanted to do, very young age, fashion. That was it. I just wanted to go work in New York and live in that world. So I went to FIT, Fashion Institute, and from there worked in public relations and for some magazines. And then I, too, grew up in New Jersey, but made my way out to Chicago as well, and did some advertising, did some things, but kind of hit my stride again after, raising 3 daughters, and then opened a store in downtown Wilmette. And yeah, Kara came to me and said, "You need to be on social media," and I was like, okay. And then here we are a few years later.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't just any store. It was Cher, which we all knew and loved in downtown Wilmette, because they just had beautiful curated home accessories, furnishing, clothing, you name it.
Yeah.
You just, it was so fun. We always enjoyed going there and getting hostess gifts and so forth. But anywho, so really then this newsletter, kind of what was the inspiration? And the one thing I remember reading is, again, the O, right, comes from the first letter of your last name.
Well, we had to.
Yeah,
I
love
really, it just was
so good living, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to say even at Share, our next something we will have to incorporate this.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was just serendipitous that we got together, and I think Karen really had spent some time in California, and where her creative visions last year really took off. And she came to me and said, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking," and I was all on board, sort of. You tell it, Kat.
Yeah, no, we closed the store and had some time, and the creative aspect is just so hard to let go of, and so I just knew Kara and I always had so much fun. We collaborated so well. We were always thinking about different just things to do, not to mention just the never-ending amount of information that we both go on deep dives looking for.
Yeah, we get each other in many ways that a lot of people will look at us like, how do you know that? And so just getting to work with each other, work with someone, as I'm sure you guys know, who really understands you and you're on the same page, it just makes it that much easier and more fun. Yeah. And so when we both grew up really loving magazines, and I miss them. I miss getting my fresh copy of, a magazine and going through it. And so I think Karen came up first with the idea of an online magazine, something that's visually very pretty but informative. And we both have a lot of things that we're interested in all different aspects. And so that's how it just sort of came together.
Well, and what I love too, right? I mean, you speak, it bespokes, right? As far as to women that are mature, that are vibrant, I mean, we have so much left as far as, and I love like all of your topics. And that would be a fun one. It's like, how do you come up with, like, how did you come up with this concept? Because it's not just geared towards home design or, you know, health or whatever. It's really very, what would you say, all-encompassing, geared toward kind of who your audience is. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that we both spend a lot of time taking in information, whether we're on Instagram or TikTok or looking at magazines. And we both kind of agreed that we weren't really finding a whole lot about like people who were speaking directly to us. That, you know, there's plenty of people doing really amazing things out there, but they were really specific. And we wanted to do something that on some level kind of reflected back on the store, which was just like more lifestyle, more kind of taking things that we're interested in and showing them in ways where it's like, okay, you don't have to spend a ton of money to do this. Get out there and enjoy an experience, or, you know, sort of the way they say, kind of romanticizing like a simple moment. Like that's kind of how we like to approach it.
Well, kind of be more mindful too, right? And enjoying and taking in that time versus, but I love like everything that you guys do is, again, going back to, we were talking about the mouth tape, but we can, that's a whole nother thing, right?
Try it.
Yeah. So looking ahead, you're kind of, what are you thinking as far as taking this to maybe even more of a digital magazine versus type concept? Or
Well, I think it's twofold. It's that, but also growing our social media presence, because I really think that that's really the way that people are getting a lot of information. Dare I say TikTok, which I know Karen and I are both fans of. I have learned so much from TikTok. I know people kind of make fun of it. But I'm doing cooking, I'm getting recipes, I'm learning about travel, places that I've never heard of that perhaps I want to try. And so I think we'd like to expand that. It's really kind of funny. I mean, we have a lot of laughs attempting to do some of these videos.
Dances?
Yes. You know.
Really?
We haven't busted out the dances yet.
Won't do a dance with us. All right, well,
Never.
yes.
We're not saying we're not going
never
to.
say never,
Yeah, that's
right? In
Exactly.
2025, on the horizon.
Half the time we have to remember to pull our phones out and like, you know,
Exactly.
we're like, oh shoot, we actually forgot that would have been a really fun
Honey,
moment.
can I tell you how many times we missed moment? Totally get it. Yeah.
Right. I know, and it's so important to get the moment. And so I think we're also trying to lose a little bit of the self-consciousness.
100%.
And I think you guys probably know that too, because as realtors, you guys really do put yourself out there more than a lot of the other teams, I think. And I think people like to see that you are just like them. And Karen and I feel like we have a lot of interests that you guys have a lot of interests in, you know.
Well, I even read Art Magazine, but I probably shouldn't admit this on here, but go on. Yeah, you can get some good ideas on there. But
No, I mean, you can get ideas everywhere. And we also have people coming to us being like, hey, can you do something on, you know, Pilates or, you know, things like that, or sleep. Sleep is a big one.
Yeah.
And we try to address the skincare.
Which Kara is our resident guru, so it's amazing.
well, look, both of you have beautiful skins.
Well, I think we both have our specialties. Karen is for sure really so stylish always, and she's my go-to when I need, you know, Kara, what should I wear? What looks good on me? And I've been places with her, and she's pulled out a shirt and said, I think this would look good on you. And I'm like, I don't think it will ever look good on me. And then I put it on and it actually looks good on me. So she knows. People just know you have an eye for things. And so I think we just play off each other. We're not afraid to try different things or to laugh at ourselves, which I think is a huge thing, is just, you know, letting go of those inhibitions. And I think people appreciate that.
Yeah, I love it. So let me ask you, as far as people, where do they find you if they're haven't already subscribed to your awesome newsletter or gone online, as far as, or rather on Instagram? Yeah.
So we are the letter O, sogoodliving.com, and on Instagram and TikTok, just getting our feet wet. Again, Oh So Good Living.
I love it. You guys, thank you so much. I cannot even tell you.
Thank you.
So excited to have you guys here, and we love what you're doing, and keep doing it. It's just, it's really
appreciate
wonderful.
the
Yes,
feedback.
we really appreciate the support. Thanks, girls.
Thank you.